In this video, I'm going to give you the exact steps that you can follow to get out of a scrolling rut as fast as possible. Now, this comes from my own personal experience because 2 years ago, I used to scroll for 8 to 12 hours a day. Hours. And so I know what it feels like to be on your way to slowly reduce the amount of hours you scroll. Then suddenly, one day you randomly scroll for 10 hours again, just like that. And that's super demoralizing. Like you are feeling like you're making progress, like you're actually doing something. And then you just get knocked right back down to zero, or what feels like zero. Now, the first step to get out of this is to get your emotions out of it. Because when you're in a rut, when you mess up one day, it feels awful, right? You feel sad, you feel disappointed in yourself. But that's exactly the problem. You feel disappointed in yourself. And so the next day, because you feel disappointed in yourself, you want to scroll to escape that feeling. And so you end up feeling worse off afterwards. And so the cycle continues. Instead of trying to feel sad or angry, what will honestly help you is to just accept it. Accept the fact that you chose to scroll that day. Accept the fact that you messed up, you relapsed, that's on me. Because you accept it, that actually allows you to grow. Accountability is what is required to grow. When you're accountable to the fact that, yes, I messed up, that actually allows you to stop it tomorrow. And a big thing here, I want you to realize, there are no good or bad habits. They're simply what you choose to do. Always have a choice. Like you always have a choice. Don't blame your phone. Don't blame some external environment or circumstance. It was you. Like objectively, you could have chose to not scroll. You could have. Like it's not against the laws of physics to say that you can choose to put down the electronic rectangle instead of scrolling on it. You can choose every single time that you scroll, and it's your choice. But that's okay. That's what allows you to grow. So this first step is just accountability and acceptance. The second step is where it really gets juicy, because the first step is just a foundation. But from here on, these steps are going to get more powerful as you build up from them. Because the second step is to avoid the binge fallacy. The binge fallacy is when you try out one thing or you feel like you messed up. And so for the rest of the day, you end up binging that one thing. It's like you do a little, but because you did a little, you end up doing a lot. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're trying a diet, and in that diet, you want to eat 0 sugar, 0 sweets, no candy, no cake, none of that, right? But one day, you go up to a party, like a birthday party, your friend's birthday party, and they're serving cake there. Now, you don't want to look a bit weird. You don't want to say no. And so you end up trying just a little bit. But because you feel like you failed that diet, right? Your diet was to be 0 sugar. Because you just tried a little piece of cake, you end up eating so much sugar. Like you end up eating a bunch of cake, a bunch of sweets, candy, everything that's there, even snacks. You find everything because you feel like you messed up that day, and so you can do whatever you want. Truth is, it's not a binary, you either scroll this day or no. What you should be looking out for is how much you scroll. It sounds super simple, but it's a big difference because it means that if you end up scrolling a little bit that day, you go over your goal, then that's fine. That's just slightly messed up because it's either this, you accept it going with the first step. You either accept it that you just messed up a little bit, or you end up scrolling for 10 hours when you originally only scrolled for 6. That's the difference here. The difference is in how much you scroll, not in whether you scroll or not. Now, the third step is where it gets super important. So the first two are enough to just feel better on the first day, which is important for the rut. But number 3 is to make tomorrow easier. This means that you are not at peak capacity when you're in a rut. Objectively, you are not going to be at your baseline when you're in a rut. They call it a rut for a reason, right? You're below your baseline. You can't expect yourself to do the same things that you do on a normal day. So the way to build up and to actually get out of a rut is to start with baby steps. So let's say normally in a day you're super productive, you're productive the whole day. When you're in a rut, let's say you're productive for 0 hours a day, you're literally just scrolling the entire day. The next day, tomorrow, you should aim to just be productive in the morning. Like let's say for 2 or 4 hours, you're productive in the morning. And the next day you're productive for the morning and then also the evening, right? So you see you're slowly building up to the point where you're back to where you used to be, but in steps. You're not going to go from 0 to 100. You're going to be slowly shifting up because that's actually what allows you to keep going. When you feel like something's way out of your reach, you don't even try. But when something feels more achievable for you, then you actually try. And a little pro tip here, when you try, like you set a lower goal for yourself, but you actually try on it, you'll find that you'll reach much higher than what you originally planned for. So you'll end up doing most of the things you wanted to, but all you need to do is set a lower goal just to get started on them. And the fourth and final step is one of the most important ones here because it's what ties everything together. Once you've combined this and the previous 3 steps, this is the complete system to get out of a rut and to stop doom scrolling. Now, this step is to write a note for yourself that you'll read tomorrow. Because all of those emotions that you've banked up right now, they are important. I know the first step mentions to just be accountable and throw your emotions out the window, but that's not entirely true. Like you can use your emotions as fuel, but you need to channel it or else it'll go out of control and you'll scroll even more. The exact thing that I would recommend you to do is to get a sticky note or like fold up a piece of paper and write out 1 or 2 sentences for your future self that you'll read tomorrow morning. This can be as simple as, come on, bro, you can do better. Or like, just don't scroll this morning, bro. That's it. Super simple sentence just to remind yourself that you are going to do better tomorrow. Because it's easy to get caught up in a routine where you feel bad that you scrolled, but the next day when you wake up, you feel normal, and then you go through into the habit where you cause yourself to scroll, and then the cycle repeats itself. Instead, what you want to do, write yourself a note and specifically put it somewhere where you'll see it. If this means putting it on your phone before you go to bed, do it. If it means putting it straight on your desk, right in the middle of it, do it. Find some way to remind yourself that you are going to do better. And you can make it emotional, it doesn't matter, as long as you remind yourself that this day is different. Now, with all 4 of these steps, it's actually time for you to implement them. So, if you want my help in implementing these steps as well as completely ending your scrolling addiction, I can help you. I'm a screen time coach, and I specifically help people to end their scrolling addiction. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then I can help you by you clicking the link in the description